So I just wanted to quickly share my testimony of how I got saved. Ironically, the Harrow Church is here today. And I remember about 7 years, I think I've been saved about 3 years now. I got saved in 2019. But about 5, 6 years before that, I remember going to the Harrow Church and answering the altar call. I don't remember the pastor there at the moment, but I remember I went to the church, and for my whole life, I've always been searching for the truth. Growing up, I was a Muslim. My dad was quite strict, so in the beginning of my life, I had quite a religious upbringing. But I never really felt like I had a relationship with God, and that really bothered me because it felt as if no matter how much I tried, I couldn't be good enough. And I think that's an issue that all of us face. No matter what we try, no matter how good we are, we don't feel like we're good enough, and we're faced with guilt. So I parked being a Muslim, and I started to live freely because it was easier, because I felt no guilt that way. As long as I was a good person, as long as I was free in spirit, as long as I was doing what I felt like was right. However, before getting saved, and when I'd left Islam, during the interim, I was always asking myself questions like, does God really exist? If I was to stand before him, or if I was to ever meet him, what does that mean for my life? And although I had questions, I never really thought that serving God would be like a lifestyle for me, because at the time it was like I was asking questions in my heart, but God knew that. God knew I was asking questions. So similar to Carmel, I started drinking alcohol, smoking weed. But it's funny because it's like we do it for the enjoyment, but deep down we're searching for something. We're searching for some sort of fulfillment. And I remember the night before I got saved, I was in, there's a place in Norfolk called Bar One. I remember my friend hired that place out for a birthday, and I got pretty drunk. And I remember asking people, like, guys, like we're drinking, but what does life mean? I was always trying to be one of those deep people that's always deep in life. So I spoke to a few people, but none of them were interested. Everyone was like so interested in getting so drunk. It's almost as if like sobriety was an issue for them. So everyone was so focused on either smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol or smoking weed, but everyone's searching for something. Anyway, the next day I came into church, and when pastor preached, I never expected for me to stay. I never understood what being a Christian was, but the sermon touched me nevertheless. And I remember answering the altar call. And again, similar to Carmel, it's like you wake up the next day and God has done something in you. He's renewed you somehow. You can't explain it, but he's awakened something in you. And it's like I felt so satisfied that my questioning that I've been doing my whole life has been answered. We always try to live life by ourselves. We always try to figure out life on our own. But the harder we try, the more we find ourselves in some sort of rabbit hole. So I've been serving for 3 years now. And yeah, God has really moved in my life. And the most interesting thing is, in the world, we try so hard to find our identity from a lot of people, whether it's relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's jobs, whatever it is. However, when you come to the church, you meet people that become the closest people to you, that know you the most, that really care for you, that really want you to grow and really want the best for you. So in the church, I found that, and God has really worked in me, and He's allowed people to be, I've become accountable for how I live my life because of the people that are around me, the people that truly love me and care for me. So if you're here and you're not saved, let me tell you, God has a plan for your life. Trust me, you're doing yourself a disservice by trying to live by yourself. Amen.